You're live. Yeah, right. I don't think this is true. Shit, we are live. All right, cool. Wow, that was a process. And frig, that took forever. All right, I'm gonna jump right into this. Sorry guys for taking so long to figure this out, but yeah, OBS Studio and myself and YouTube Studio and all of the studios, screw that stuff. It's crazy. I want to learn it, but I don't have the patience for it. I'd rather design this game and get it to market and into everyone's hands and not learn streaming technology. But that is the way it goes. All right, enough of that. Hey, everybody, welcome. Today we are going to be playing as Kimberly Foster again as we dive into the drift. We're going to be play testing Sector 2. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that out right away. And forgot to shuffle it. And I'll explain sort of what I'm doing as I'm going. So the Drift is a solo roguelite, yeah, sorry, adventure game, survival game, resource management, dice rolling, crafting, survival mechanics, all that fun stuff. Hunger, thirst, death, dying, adventure, missions, everything. So you hopefully like what you see, and if you do like what you see, continue to follow along. It's been an adventure creating this game, and I cannot wait for everyone to be able to play it on their own. So I'm in the process of just sort of like finishing up the cards. I've been playtesting the crap out of this. I've playtested up to level 5 with a planned 10 levels in the game. This is a game that's meant to be played as long as you want, 15-minute sessions, 20-minute, 1 hour, you name it. I'm going to design it so that you can easily just pack it up and put it away in less than a minute. That's the whole goal. Is these trays will have covers, and these are going to actually be 3D dashboards with slots for cards to slide in. So all the pack up, it's just a matter of sliding in cards, popping on a tray, putting everything in the box. All these cards that you see spread out, they're all going to be in an index, Rolodex sort of thing, so you can easily find the cards you need. We got some books that are going to be spiral binded, the ring binder, so that they're easy to flip through with tabs on all of it so that you can easily flip to the tab you want to get the information you want. This game's designed for people that don't have a lot of time, but also just want something fun, simple, and easy to set up. This is it. This is going to be hopefully your jam. So stick around, learn a little bit more about it. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. Even if it's not here in the live stream and it's in the future, I will answer away. And yeah, so I'm not going to get into the whole story much about this, but um, yeah, the drift is you're in what we call the void. So this is our starship right here, the SS Raptor that we are piloting. We've been sucked into this parallel universe, and there's 10 sort of levels to get through, and each level is going to get longer and harder with more obstacles, and there's a bit of a legacy component to things where we unlock stuff and whatnot. But yeah, Kimberly is lost in the void with her trusted ship, the SS Raptor, and there is a AI guide kind of following and giving them pointers. So this guide is going to be of help to us and throughout our mission. It's not present on the table, but it will have its own box that we can kind of tuck things in. This is actually represented. This is a card that I've tucked into the Epsilon guide, we're calling them. So yeah, let's just dive right in and start playing. So we are playing from level 2. I've got a save game here. This is the condition track. Here's our hunger track, thirst, health, stamina, our warp fuel. It says drive there, but I'm going to change that to fuel. Damage cards. This is our hull of our ship with all of our cargo. So we have 2 salvage, 2 wood, no glass, 3 fiber, plastic. You get it. 0 hull frames and all that stuff. So let's dive right into it and get started on how we play the game. So the first thing you want to do when you start a sector is check out the sector guide. So here we are, and we are in sector 2. So, boom, there we go. So this is sector 2. I'm not going to read through the lore here, but there's a little bit of lore as to what sector 2 is all about. This sector is called the Shattered Belt, and for good reason. because our obstacle is the asteroid field. So you can see it right here. The asteroid field is the new obstacle. And what this means is that it's challenging to fly through an asteroid field, so it takes extra stamina. So if you're going to be moving through an asteroid field, you have to lower your stamina marker down one level. If you move through two, it's two. However, you can use a skip function in this game. So we have a jump forward function that you'll see, and that'll allow you to skip over one, as well as sort of if we have the explosions with the void events that are here, and that might cause us to skip as well. So there's a couple things there that we can do to avoid, other than just flying around. We can do sort of a skip jump, which I will show you guys. Just a refresher, Kimberly's pass. Kimberly's actions are she has a warp action, which allows her to remove one of her skill cubes down here. And for every cube you go, you can double the distance of a warp dice. So if you have a warp dice that says ×2 like this one, that's essentially a movement of 4, which is pretty cool. We also have a remove a skill cube to collect an additional resource at your location. So those are some really cool things we can do. And then finally, we picked up some gear in the last episode. We built the spark drive. So by reducing the condition of this dice, I can use this ability, which reduces item's condition, to move the SS Raptor one sector square to the left or right. So I can use that. I can also use this to pass skill tests. And we have the navigator, which is if the hazard at your location features outwit, navigate, or evade, increase the durability of this by 1 to the maximum of 3. So the navigator is a great tool because it's going to has 2 survival icons, which is awesome, but it also it's harder to break. And then finally we have a water flask here with just a condition of 2. So if I really need to and I'm desperate, I can take 2 sips of that, and yeah, instead of taking water damage. All right, so bear with me too as I use terminology in this game. I'm sort of slowly getting it all finalized, so I will use some terms interchangeably, I believe. So let's get started right away. We are going to draw our mission. So right down here with items. Nope, that's not it. Right over here. All right, so here's the mission. So we're going to roll a d12, and we got a 3. So I'm just going to mark that we are doing this mission here. So let's see what we got to do. Craft a clean water item during this sector. Reward is to replace 3 skill cubes. Craft hydration gel instead of clean water to gain 2 additional skill cubes. So we're going to get the hydration gel because that sounds like something we might want to do. And we're just going to stick this right here. And this is like, we don't quite have it yet, but we need to reference it. So we can put that in this reference spot on our cargo hold. So to do this, we're going to need 2 water, 1 plastic, and 1 leaf. We currently have 1 plastic, which is great. We need another one. We have 2 leaf, which is good. And sludge, we have 3. So we're only missing 1 plastic. That's going to be an easy thing to do. And we have 100% odds of finding plastic at these 2 locations. So let's just quickly see if there's one close by, which we have one right there. Yep, that is indeed a location that we need to hit. So we're going to try to hit that first. On the way, I think it might be beneficial to hit this wreck just to kind of bulk up our plastic wire, just general like building materials, because I want to start building some tech as well. So there we go. We got a plan. Let's go for it. So let's start warping. So we're going to use 1 warp fuel. Because we're in the high stamina level, that's going to allow us to roll 3 stamina die, or warp dice if you want to call them. And yeah, we have a break 2 to the right. We have a wild, and we have 1 forward with a condition. So we have to take that condition down. We do actually have a small cut right now. So every time this lands on the bottom, once we take another condition, we have to apply the small cut, which is not fun. But I don't feel like healing it right away, I don't think. Root, fiber. You know what? At the start of the game, I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to do that and a fiber to make a bandage and remove the cut. If ever in the game you have 2 of the same condition and you have to draw 3, it's game over as well. So it's good to manage those conditions. All right, let's go ahead and move. So I think I'm going to go and use these 2. You always have to activate one warp dice. In this case, we're going to activate 2, and we're going to go 1, 2. Almost got us to that planet. I don't think I want to use a cube to go an additional spot just yet, as we still kind of have warp fuel. So we're going to go ahead and spend another warp fuel and roll these again. All right, so here we go. We got a condition, and we have a breakout. So we have a special. This is the skip warp die. So if I wanted to, I could spend an additional warp fuel and make this a ×2. But I don't want to at this point because I only need that one. So we're going to use this. We're going to go 1 to the planet. And I'm just debating right now if I want to keep going or risk going to the planet. I think I'm going to go to the planet. It is a pretty lower risk planet. So let's do that. So to land on a planet, simply spend a warp fuel. I like to return the dice to the dashboard just to keep me organized. So we'll do that. And we're going to land onto the aquatic world. So you can see right here the aquatic world. Here's the odds in the sector scan of finding materials. So you can see we have water, 100% leaf, 100% fungus, root. And then we have 58% chance of a camp, 50% chance of fire, and a 58% chance of a hazard. So let's go ahead and see what point of interest we're going to land on. So 9, the seagrass meadows. So here we are in the seagrass meadows right now. We have a camp and a fire, which is great. I'm going to take the camp, do a short rest, which means I move my stamina up 1. If ever you move your you can move the stamina up as many as you want for a rest action, but for every 3, you have to move your hunger and thirst down by 1. So because it was only a short rest, I wasn't that hungry after. We just took a quick power nap, so we're good. I'm not going to cook anything, I don't think, although we do want to build this, and we needed just 1 plastic. So do we have plastic here? No, we do not. All right, no plastic, but I am going to take 1 root. You can always take 3 items from the list. So 1 root, my sludge is at max. 1 leaf, and 1 wood. Oh, there was no wood on this one. I apologize for that. Sludge, leaf, root. Let's take the fungus. All right, there we go. So we've taken our items, and now we have to roll a hazard. So let's go ahead and flip the hazard deck and see what's going to happen. So we are in Sector 2, so we have a target of 5 on a D12, 5 or more. If we pass, we're going to get fiber. If we fail, we're going to get a cut. So we could, oh, here we go, evade, defend. I just want to double check that. Oh, evade, great. So this is going to go up to 3. We can't forget that. And let's go ahead and roll. Oh no, so we got a 2, so we failed. And these icons cannot be used, I don't think, with any of my gear. I could do this. I could drive down I could use the condition on the drive spark, but that's only going to make my dice roll turn into a 3, which is still not enough to pass. And I don't have any other items. So we are going to take a cut. Got a small cut there while we were exploring. All right, so we got our cut, and that's it. That's all we got to do now. So we're done with this location. Shut the book, and let's go ahead and warp again. So we're going to spend another warp fuel. Going to roll these dice. Oops. I forget what that was. I'm just doing this again. All right, there we go. So rolling the dice, and what do we want to do? First of all, we have to take the condition. That's a must. If you roll the condition, you have to take it. Don't want to go 2 to the right. I like this wild here. Oh, there's another skull. Uh-oh. So now we have 2 conditions. I do like this one. I do like that one. What I'd like to do is, you know what? I am going to go 2 to the right. So I'm going to go like that. Hit drift space. Always in drift space, you roll the red dice immediately. And this is not good. So this is going to force me off the edge of the card, which would allow me to make me take a damage. If I flip it, then I can do a wild. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do this, bring down my stamina, flip the die. That's going to do a condition. And then now another condition, because there was two, which makes me have to do the cut. So I'm going to roll this d12 and see if I get something. So 8 plus, it's a 5. So gain an infected cut if it's 8 or more. It's not, so we still just have a small cut. And now we have a wild. So I'm going to use that wild to go here. Keep in mind we've only used this dice so far. So now I'm going to use this. I'm going to make it a double. And that's going to get me here. Now that it's a double, I'm going to use a warp fuel to make it go 4. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. It was a pretty good move. And then I'll use my final one to get that 1 up there. All right, so there we go. I'm going to bring back my warp dice. Oh no, I'm not going to. I used that last cube, so this has to go down, and then we replace these. Doesn't feel like the right cube there. There it goes. Now it feels better. Let's get that out of there. All right, cool. So yeah, let's go ahead, and we're still in medium stamina or high stamina, so that's okay. So let's go ahead and roll these. All right. So we have 1, 2. This is good. I am going to do the double again. So let's go ahead and make this a 2. And then I am going to spend a cube to go 1 extra. And then over to land on this planet. So we're going to go ahead and land. Spend a cube. Spend some warp fuel. I gotta remember that, say warp fuel. Okay, and we're going to land on the, I think it was the desert planet. Yeah, desert, frontier world. So we're looking again for that plastic, which we're guaranteed to get, which is fantastic. So 8. All right, so here we are. So let's go ahead and take that plastic for 1. At this point, I am going to, oh, do we have a fire here? We don't have a fire. We don't have a fire. I need to possibly craft a fire kit. If I can get that done, that would be awesome. Let's see if we can do that. So a leaf, which we need for that, a fiber, which we have, and wood, which we have. Okay, cool. So we'll do that first. First, we're going to use 1 leaf, 1 fiber, 1 wood. That's going to craft us a fire kit. So the fire kit doesn't have any condition. It's just a discard to use card, but it allows us to cook or craft at any location that requires a fire icon. So as you can see, this item right here requires a fire. You can see that as a symbol. So now we're going to discard the fire kit right away. And now we are cooking. We have a fire burning, and we're going to go ahead and take 2 sludge, 1, 2. We're going to boil some water, pour it into some plastic, 2 plastic, and we're also going to have a leaf there as well, and mush up the leaf into a gel. And there we go. We've got ourselves some hydration gel. We're going to put this at a 3, and then we're going to mark that we did the bonus reward, so I'll just keep that there. So that's fantastic. So we're pretty good actually in terms of water level at this point. So you know, anytime we have to do thirst damage, these conditions will drop instead of the main track. So it's kind of a nice thing there. But now we still have 2 more resources that we can grab. So I am going to start thinking about maybe some protection. So I'm thinking about the combat axe, which requires 2 wood and 1 Yeah, combat axe. I don't think we have the 2 wood. We have 1 wood and 1 salvage, which we have. There is no wood at this location. All right, cool. So no wood at this location. We do have the rest, so I will take that rest icon. 1, 2, take a quick nap. Let's go ahead and get wire. Or you know what, plastic. I have 1 more that I can take. And glass. At least now we have 1 of every resource in our hull except for battery. So that's great news. Okay, cool. I feel good about that. Let's go ahead and draw the event and roll and see what happens. So we got a 10, we did it. We're going to get fiber. So we're going to go ahead and get 1 fiber from that encounter, from the gravity shift event. And yeah, moving on. All right, so here we go. Let's warp away. So before I do this, I just want to see if I want that combat knife, I'm going to need wood, and wood is 100% at the forest planet and at the pirate cove. So stopping here, and then, wow, it's far. It's way up here is the pirate cove. So there's our objective. But definitely stopping there on the way, and you guys will see why when we arrive. So there we go. Let's go ahead and roll our warp dice. Oh, that was interesting. I'm just going to take it slowly here. We're going to go up 1, and then let's go ahead and go over 1. And let's use another warp dice, or sorry, warp fuel. And there's that condition. Let's go up 1 with the wild. And that's all I can really do. Do I want to flip to make some progress? You know what? I can. I'll go like that. We'll flip. I feel like I should flip 1 more time. 1 more time. And there we go. All right, so now we're going up 1 and then over 1. So we made it, but we took quite a bit of stamina to get there. And but we did make it to the Nexus mod, which is one of the best locations you can find. You are always going to find a Nexus mod, a Nexus port, we call it, at the end of every level. And this is the reason why, because the Nexus port has some really cool things. There's no hazards, but there is a resting spot. So you're always going to be able to rest. And depending on the sector you're in, there's a trade, so you can do some trading. You can do a 2-to-1 trade cost, 2 of the same for 1 of something else. And there's also some bonuses. So in this case, we get a skill cube. We have 2 skill cubes and a fire, which is fantastic. So those 2 cubes that we spent are gone. And keep in mind, at the end of the game, end of this level, I'm going to gain 4 cubes for completing the mission. So I have 4 cubes now that I can spend sort of as I want. So that's fantastic. Now we have a fire there as well. Do I want to trade 2 for 1 to get that combat axe? I think I do. So I'm going to go 2 fiber for 1 wood. And then I'm going to go ahead and craft myself a combat axe for 2 wood and some scrap metal. And that's going to give me a combat axe with a durability of 3. But more importantly, I now get to mark that is done. So during this game, this is sort of a legacy aspect of it, is every time you're going to unlock a tier, you can mark it in your guide, and then the next playthrough, you no longer have to unlock that in order. You can go right to the next tier. So there's sort of a progression. But you always have to unlock a tier 1 before going to tier 2 and tier 3 and so forth. So that puts us in a good spot. And this is a really good card, the Defragmenter, because of those 3 combat icons there. And it also allows me to reduce the item to flip a dice to its opposite side, which is pretty fantastic. Not a warp dice, a skill dice. But as you can see, all of our cargo here is full, so we have no more cargo. All we can do is build ship mods, which we're going to be doing next as well. I could tuck one of these into the Epsilon tuck box, which I think I will. When I get a new item, I'll be tucking the water flask in, or just using the water flask if we need to. All right, cool. Enough talk. Let's get out of here. So we've done it all. Let's go ahead. Oh, and there was also a tent, so we will use that. We'll go up 1, 2. I'm just gonna do a short nap because I don't want. I do have the water flask and the hydration gel, but I don't have anything for my hunger. Yeah, I'm gonna do a short nap only. All right, let's continue. So again, we're trying to make it all the way up here. 3 cards. So let's try to do some big stuff here. All right, so we got a forward. I will use that to make it a ×2 and go 1, 2. It's going to put us into the drift. The drift isn't necessarily a bad thing, it just gives you a little less control. It's going to make us go over 1. It's going to put us into the drift again. It's going to be 2 condition, but then I get to go forward 1. And then we're going to go left 1. I don't want to go left because I'll take damage, so I will flip the condition die. That's going to take 2. I'll flip the drift die, and now I can go and do what I want. I'm going to hit this void event. Oh, you know what? I don't think I didn't put the legacy cards in this deck. Sorry, I had to add more cards into this deck, and I forgot to do it. All right, so we're going to explode 2 to the right, so that's going to go 1, 2, which is great. Don't hit that thing. And then I still have 2 dice to unlock, so I think what I'll do is, yeah, I'll definitely do that. So I'm going to go down 1 stamina, flip this. That's going to allow me to go up 2, land on the sand planet. So there we go. We are now going to go ahead and use a warp fuel and land on the, I think it was sand planet, the frontier. Let me just double check. Yeah, it looks like frontier. Frontier world, exactly. All right, so we're going to land on the frontier world. So 3, that's going to put us at radioactive wasteland area. Okay, so we have a tent. So we'll go ahead and rest for 2 again. There's a fire. Let's get some salvage. You know what? Before I just take anything randomly, let's see what we can do here. I need to start building hull frames to get these mods for the ship. So the ship mods are incredibly powerful, and they require 1, 2, 3, or 4 of these hull frames that you can build here. So to build a hull frame, I need a camp, 2 scrap, glass, wood, plastic. So we have the glass, we don't have the wood, we have the plastic. So let's go ahead and take the salvage. We have the glass. Is there wood here? There's never any wood here. No, 0 chance of wood. Let's take the plastic. And we might as well take the fiber while we're here. And I'm going to use a cube, and I'm going to take an extra fiber just so we can have some. Yeah, fiber. Oh, the wire is there too. That would be nice. Glass, plastic. Okay, cool. So we got all the things from the radioactive wasteland here. We have to draw an event. We got the station siege, defend, confront, and we got a 5. So we needed a 5 to pass because we're in sector 2. So we just got it. We're going to get to go up to thirst. So let's go ahead and go 1, 2, which is great. Now that we're at full thirst, I'm definitely going to take the water flask and I'm going to tuck this into what we're going to be calling the Quantum Epsilon guide. So this is the box that you use for future playthroughs. If I ever were to die, I can reuse those cards. how many cards you can put into the box is determined by the sector you are in. So we're in sector 2, so it's always sector you're in plus 1. So I could do a total of 3 cards in that box, and we currently have 2. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and warp out of here. So we're going to go ahead and use some warp fuel, and we're going to take off. All right, so here we go. I can't go this way because of the impassable wall, so I can't use this dice. I could go forward, but I'm going to lose the stamina. You know what? There's not much I can do. Don't want to do that. I can't do that. I can't do this because it would put me here. However, that's a lot. Okay, I'm going to do it anyways. So I'm going to flip this dice, activate that, use another warp field to make this into a ×4 skip. So that's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So there we go. Wait a second. I am completely messed up with my rules. I cannot do that. Because it's an impassable walls can't be skipped over. So I'm going to flip that back over. I'm going to go ahead and play it safe and just hit this, go down the 1 which I've already made it go down. Use another warp fuel and roll again. Sorry about that little confusion there. I forgot about the impassable walls are exactly that, impassable. Yeah, let's go around it this way. So we'll go that way once, and then we'll use these 2. I'm going to use one of them for an extra warp fuel and go 1, 2, and then 1. And then that's going to bring this down, and I'm going to get to put my cubes back. All right, so we're still in high stamina, but we're getting close to getting a little tired. All right, so what do we got? We got a condition. We're getting close to that cut taking effect. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I have to unless I want to burn these to change it. I'm going to go into the void event. And here we got a target of 5+. Fail, we're going to take some hull damage. So we got it, thankfully. Now we can keep moving. I don't want to keep moving. I'm going to stay on this line. So we're going to use another warp fuel. And there we go. All right, so, we got a condition. So there we go. Before we do anything else, we have to roll. Oops. Oh, it looks like a 1. It is a 1. Okay, so this is 8+, gain infected cut. So we're good. We don't get infected yet, but we will eventually. All right, so we did that. The next time we hit a condition, we'll go up there. So let's go ahead and, all wilds, this is great. I'm going to use this and do a ×1 to go up here, to give me this, and to give me that, to go there. And let's go ahead and land at what looked like a sanctuary location. There we go, our sanctum. Yep, that's exactly it. All right, so this is cool because we got some resources here that we might want. So we got the 10. Let's go ahead and short nap because we can. So fiber, root, meat, crops, sludge. Ooh, lots of food. Let's go ahead and get 2 crops, 1 sludge. And that's going to, I'm going to bring down the bioroot capsule as sort of a target. I want to go into sector 3 with really, really strong items for water and food. So I have a really good water item. I'd like to have a good food item as well going into sector 3. Okay, so we got all the stuff, and now we did the sleep, and now we're gonna go ahead and see what's going on here. So we have explore, outwit. I think this is still the navigator's still at 3, so we're good. 5. All right, so we got it. We're gonna get some fiber. Fantastic, and that's that. All right, now we needed that glass, I think, for the hull frame, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 this, glass 1. Okay, cool. Was there a camp? There is a camp here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and build the first hull frame. So that's going to require 2 salvage, 1 glass, 1 wood, which we don't have. Damn it. And there is none at my location. All right, so we're not going to build that right now. We're going to target that wood still. Is there a forest planet? No, there's not. All right, cool. That's it then. We did the test. We got the fiber. Let's go ahead and warp out of here. All right, so looks like condition. That's going to go back up to the top. How am I for warp fuel? Okay, so let's do this. We'll activate these 2. It's going to put us in there, drop our stamina down, and then up 1. And then we'll use another warp fuel. All right, so go over 1, up 1. That's it. All right, so 3 conditions. 1, 2, 3. All right, so up 1. By the way, I gotta bring these back. And I think I'm gonna use this to go up another. So that's this dice. Might as well go into the void event. Nice, that's exactly what I wanted. So we're gonna go explode up twice. And I could risk the drift. It's not gonna do anything bad other than either send me up or send me into a location. So let's do the drift. And yeah, it's just gonna go 1, 2, and then do a wild. And yeah, this is the exact spot I wanted to be. I totally forgot about that. So I wanted the wood, and here we are. So we're at the pirate, whatever we're calling it, the spacer cache. And let's roll again. That was a bad roll. All right, cool. 9. So, all right, so we're gonna get that glass for sure. That's why we're here. Let's get 1 glass. Fiber. We're at full. Battery we could use. And the wood. I forgot we needed the wood. We're here for the wood. Okay, so that's it. But to do the hull frame, I need to have a shelter, and I don't have a shelter. So, but there is a fire, so let's just see. Maybe we can do the beetroot capsule while we're here. We need a root. A -1 root, and there is no root at this location. All right. We'll save that for next time. Let's. What do I do? I guess I could look into crafting a shelter. It might be possible. So let's just take a quick look at that. A leaf, which we have, fiber, which we have lots of, and a wire, which we have. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll build a shelter using some leaves that we find, some fiber that we have, and a wire which we already used. I feel like I didn't bring down something. No, we brought down all of them. So there we go. We have a shelter and we have room for it. We're now going to discard the shelter, and we're going to go ahead and craft using 2 selvage, 1 glass, 1 wood, and 1 plastic. And we're going to get our first hull frame, which is awesome. So now with 1 hull frame, we could get the void burn engines, quantum storage, or the warp accelerator. I think because I have some maneuverability already with the what's it called, the drive spark, I think I want to target the quantum storage. Yeah. I'm going to target that. So I'm just going to put these side by side here. All right. So the quantum storage is 2 wire, 2 salvage, 2 fiber. Well, we currently only have the fiber. All right, I think I did all the things here minus the event. So here we go. All right, so we got a 1, which is a fail, and we needed a 5. So let's see if we can manipulate that. We do have the words explore, hunt, and both tech and an explosion. So I'm going to do, we got 1, so this would be 2, 3, 4. We don't even have enough to manipulate it to 5, only to 4. So this would be using those icons and using that icon. And that's only going to manipulate us to 4. So we didn't make it. So we're going to take a skin rash, which is not fun, but treatable. Treatable with cream. Skin rash right there. So whenever what's going to happen is whenever I hit the end here, I have to take the effects of all of my conditions. I have to do all of them in order from left to right, or whatever. The order you got them doesn't quite matter. And that sucks. So you want to get rid of those. I just had a really cool thought too. I'm going to make a note of this. That would be fun. So I'll do that after. All right, cool. Moving on. So we did all the stuff and all the things. Just close this book up. We've got our first hull frame. And yeah, we got some targets for what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and warp out of here. Oh, I built that shelter too, and I used it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little nap while I'm there. In fact, I'm going to nap full. That's going to bring my hunger down by 1 and my hydration down by 1. All right, so we can't go forward without taking damage. We can't go left, but we can go right. And we are going to go 1, 2, which is unfortunate. So that's going to make us go right. Left again, or wild. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead and use the drive spark to get out of this situation and make that go right. That allows us to ignore the warp dice. Okay, cool. So now we can use the forward. And that's about it. Let's go ahead and warp again. All right, so we got a ×2 forward, which we cannot use unless we go a little bit to the left. So let's go to the left. Let's use this times 2 with an additional warp cube to make that into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's roll the warp dice and go left. And then we're going to go up 1. Not a bad warp there. All right, so we got a times 2. Oh, we got the condition. All right, so now we have to do the condition. So the first one is the cut. So 9 plus, that's actually going to get infected. So our cut is infected at this point, which is very unfortunate. And now we have a skin rash on a 9, so 7 plus inclusive, gain 1 chem burn, discard the skin. So now the skin rash is turned into a chemical burn, and things are really not looking good at this point. Just putting the skin rash back, getting that chemical burn out. Yeah, so we really want to start thinking about getting rid of these things. In fact, I'll do that as soon as I'm finished with this warp. Take a quick look at the situation. All right, so times 2 forward. I'm going to use the last cube to make that into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Void event. Yeah, we got some scrap. And then I'm not going to use any of these dice. Nope. So let's go ahead and replace these. And let's warp again. All right, so 2 forwards. And I will use the extra to go the extra distance. All right. In fact, I'm going to use a cube because I can to go even further and bring me into the drift to the right. All right. Oh, all lefts and rights. Well, let's use, oh, we got to go down a condition. Let's do that. That was just 1 over. Okay. Before I do another warp, I just want to look and see if I can get rid of any of these real quick. So leaf, we don't have it, so no, we can't. We really need to land, see if we can take care of those. So where's the next planet? Right here. Let's see if we can get over there, up there. All right, so we got a condition. That's not good. This is up forward. This is wild. Let's do it. So we'll do the wild. Go this way. Use the warp fuel to make it into an extra. Hit the drift dice. Go down 2 conditions. But then make it to the planet. Use my last warp fuel, land on the planet. Okay, so this planet is the sand world again. All right, so we got some good stuff here. We got fire. Okay, we really need that leaf, so we're going to take 2 leaf because we need them for both of these. Root, we have 1. We need root for both of these as well. So we're going to take a root, and then what else do we need? We need wire. They're both the same, so we need another wire, which we don't have at this location, and fiber, which we have in our hull. So my last item is going to be to get some salvage. No, no. Sorry about that. Yeah, salvage. Cool. Let's get rid of one of these. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the infected cut because we have a little bit more thirst tolerance right now. So that's going to be one leaf, one root, one wire. Oh, we don't have the wire yet. Sorry about that. One leaf, one root. Yeah, the wire we need. Okay, so we desperately need wire. So we're going to find wire nowhere before the end. Maybe another sand planet? What are the odds? 41%. Okay. That's really all we can do is just try to land there and get that. Oh, we also have a medical facility too. Got to be some wire laying around in an abandoned space station. 50%. So there's somewhat decent odds here. Let's try it. We're going to try to get to both of them before we end this level off. So let's go ahead and, before we do that, we were at the, I got to see if I have a rest. Can't remember. No, we don't. We just have a fire. All right. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get to both those locations. All right, so we really need to go over. So we'll use this one, but I'm going to use the skip so I can go over top the thing, and then I'm going to use the forward with the skip as well. That's going to put me just going down one stamina, and then I'll use my wild. That's going to bring me onto the planet. I'm going to land on that planet. Just bringing these in a line so they're easier to put back. So we're going to land on another sand world here. We got ourselves 6. All right, so wire. So we're going to go ahead and get 2 wire. 1, 2. We also have a sleepy camp, so we're going to go ahead and do sleep. We got 2 wire. Yeah. What else? We got one more thing we can do. Let's go ahead and get plastic, because for the bio root capsule, if we can eventually, we'll see. All right, cool. We got the stuff and the things. I really still want to build this, which would require 2 more wire. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 cubes to collect 2 more wire. Oh, I can only collect 1 because my hull is full. But I guess what I could do is say, all right, well, let's get rid of these things because they don't need to be 1, 2, and then 2 root, 2 wire, and 2 fiber. There's a lot of resources there for curing this, but worth it. Can burn. All right, cool. So that cures that, and then we said we're going to spend that extra cube and get 2 wire, so that eventually we could hopefully get this. In fact, we just need, now we need 2 fiber. Do we have fiber here? We do. I might want to use 2 more cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only getting 4 back, but it's worth possibly the investment. What am I going to do with this again? It's going to be new storage. It's going to expand my storage. Expanding storage. Or do I want, you know what? I'm going to remove the expansion of storage and do the warp accelerator instead. So this is 3 glass, 2 fiber, and that looks like it's going to take some organic meat, which we're good for. So knowing that, I think I will spend 2 more cubes and get 2 glass. In preparation. It's probably a dumb idea. Let's do it anyways. Let's do it. We got the bonus. We got 4 cubes coming back. Let's go ahead and warp. I'm going to try to make it to that last destination before we... By the way, this is in the wrong spot. I'm like an idiot. This is supposed, oops. It's supposed to be here. And it's supposed to be here. All right. I don't know if we warp. Let's roll. Don't know if we did. Gonna roll. So I could go over 1. Yeah, let's do over 1. That's not good. That's better. And so that was over 1, and then we did the drift to go up 1. And then we're going to do drift again. And it's going to take me to the right. How bad do I want it? Not that bad. I gotta keep remembering to put these in a line when I take them off. So we went down, we did the thing, and then we're gonna go ahead and warp. I think I just messed up the order of that, but anyways, 1, 2, we're gonna go up 2 using this. Actually, that's 4, but I don't want to go 4, so just 2. And then 1. And then condition. It's going to go over 1. And the wild to get me to the Nexus mod. One of these to land on the Nexus mod. All right, so we are currently in sector 2, or sorry, yeah, sector 2. 2 to 1 cause plus 3 hull strength. That's actually really awesome because we did have some damage. But that's really it. 2 to 1 odds. I gotta rest. 1, 2. I'm gonna rest for 2. Now is the chance to build if we wanted to. So we just needed the fiber, but we need 2 of them. So I'm going to go 2 wire to get a fiber, 2 salvage to get a fiber. And now I can build this. So we're going to go like that. I'm going to go 3 glass, 2 fiber, and 2 meat. Now we have a warp accelerator, which is awesome. So we can anytime reduce the condition of this item to move the SS Raptor 1 square forward. So I get a little boost at any time. So that's fantastic. And while I'm here, can we do anything about the capsule? So 2 root, nope, definitely not happening. Crops we have, and plastic we have. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see. There's no fire at this location. Crap. was going to say, what can I just maybe eat as a consumable? So these are items that you can just consume, and it's going to give you automatically one hunger, one stamina. So fortunately, this was the one that I really wanted to get. But I do not have 2 root or 1 wood, unfortunately, because that would be really cool. Or fire. All right. So I don't have any of that. So ignore it. Okay, cool. Moving on. We're going to go ahead and do this. And ×2 to go in. Oh, just 1 to go in. Sorry about that. We might as well use the last warp fuel and make it a ×2. And that's going to end the level. So we just did it. Mission completed. So upon mission complete, gain 2 additional cubes. So we're going to get the 4 for crafting the thing. And then 2 additional cubes. So we're just missing 2. Not bad. This is still here until we have to remove it. Everything else is good. Good spot to save it. So yeah, I'm gonna save my game because I like saving it at the end of a level. That way, if I ever need to test Sector 3, I know that we have a pretty good game state for testing. So I can always come back here and try new things and add new cards. So I will go ahead and pack this up, but I will not make you guys wait as I click buttons and do stuff like that. So thank you guys for joining me. And yeah, if you have any more information or you want any more information, just write a comment. And if you have any questions,